So we begin as always with our breath, as we simply breathe, as we allow the breath to lead us inwards and to open our connection to the divine. And as we breathe, as we move more deeply within, the connection grows, the light within us expands, and we feel ourselves in a very different way to when we exist solely in our ego selves, the human self, separated from the divine. As we allow the divine to move through us, our breath leads us into the sensation of the physical body. And as we merge into this sensation, the body relaxes, tensions release, and we begin to feel a true connection to our physical bodies, for the ego mind is so disconnected from the body. Here we feel, we sense our physical vessel, and it becomes a joyful experience to be embodied. Through the body we feel a connection to nature. And we begin to sense, to feel within an overwhelming energy of peace that exists deep within. To find this peace, we need to move away from the busy mind and center ourselves within our heart space, feeling the connection to the body. Nature is always in the flow of the divine. It's never hurried, not impatient, for all progresses in divine timing. And we breathe in the energies of nature, the stillness and the peace that exists within all that goes on in nature. It teaches us much about letting go, surrendering to the divine flow, always moving through all things in all dimensions. And you begin to sense the etheric realms as all of nature's kingdoms come into your reality. And as we enter more deeply into this space, we see, we sense, we know how different life is in this awareness to when our human existence is limited to the human mind, controlling so much, limiting so much. excluding us from this connection to so much more than the limited existence of the human mind. The energies today bring great peace to the innermost parts of our being, where we feel more deeply, more strongly, our connection to the etheric world, to all that is there and available to us, if we simply wish and choose to step into it. You feel the energy of spirit moving through your whole body. It moves into every cell. It moves out into your aura. All your body's receiving this higher light. Be aware of our circle. Allow a connection to be made as our heart energy flows through our circle. It is a close connection we have, one with another, and it strengthens our own energy. As each one's energy is expanded, one's consciousness growing, as we come into oneness in our work together. You may feel a strengthening in your solar plexus, and how we are all in our circle are gradually being lifted into a higher frequency. We simply breathe, for we are not in charge in our human selves. This process comes from a much higher dimension, which we willingly surrender to, gaining strength from each other. You feel yourselves gradually coming into balance, a greater balance within, as your intellect, your emotions, your physical body and your spirit body are gradually being brought into alignment. Simply relax and be present. Be in this experience in total surrender, for there is nothing you need to do, simply to be, to allow, for all is done for us. Breathe into the peace within, for in the deepest parts of yourself there is always peace, and the peace we receive is not dependent on any outer circumstances. It comes from a different place within, a different aspect of self. It is from a higher aspect of self, which is uniting with you. As more and more of yourself comes into your I am presence, only this now exists, and from your heart space, the depths of your being, there is no time, only the now. We do not need to ask questions to want to know, for in the space of our own beingness, it is a space of emptiness, ever expanding, ever rising into higher consciousness, leaving the mind behind, for its uses are limited, and we are relinquishing its control over to our beingness. For in one's being, the truth of one's I am, everything that's needed is given to you. Feel from your heart space the expansion that is taking place there. Your breath assisting you in your expanding consciousness, for in the breath the light and love of spirit exists, and with our consciousness we absorb not only the air that we breathe, but all the higher frequencies contained within the air. Relax into the peacefulness that exists within you. Relax into the divine flow moving through you. And you fall in to the joy that comes from the peace within, connecting you to so much more. You begin to feel a oneness with nature. The etheric realms and all her kingdoms. Much new energy is coming to us as we open to receive. Activations and downloads take place. It takes some time before they are integrated, before we ground them. And it is through our presence, our awareness, being in one's I am, which we ground these energies into our physical bodies. Feel your foundation, your pelvic area, and how you are grounding into the body. As the energies grow stronger, grounding is so important. As you ground into your body, ground into the earth, into nature, and you begin to feel the magnificence of all that is around you. You can walk out into a new world simply through raising your frequency and having a higher perception, for it is already here for us. Whilst it is grasped by higher aspects of self, it takes a long time for the human self to come into this higher awareness. It is so entrenched in the 3D, old thought forms, old thinking patterns, acquired beliefs, which repeat themselves continually, decade after decade. But you have received, you have within you the ability to raise yourselves into higher light and to see and to live a new world. Not by doing, of course, but by letting go of doing, which comes from the human self, and to allow it to take place within you, as from your hearts you allow the higher self to take charge. And this is what is taking place for us now, if we so choose it. So just surrender into the energies that are filling your body, filling your aura, and moving you into a higher awareness. You simply breathe. You can feel how your consciousness is rising and expanding into new places that you have not been before. Not external situations, of course, but new places within, for all is within. And it is through entering deeply within that all opens before you. You can feel within yourself how much of you has surrendered to the divine, the higher self, and how much of you is still holding on to the old self. Does the personality want to let go? To let go of the illusions, the attachments, and to be truly free. This wish, this choice, comes from deep within. It is not a choice which the ego mind makes, for that part of oneself will never choose to let go. I choose now, from the depths of my being, to place my higher self in charge of my human self. The love within me, which is ever expanding, has already chosen. And you feel the descent of your light body, your higher self, connecting with your human self as the light grows brighter. The higher self can heal instantly the physical body, the emotional body, whatever it wishes, for it has total abilities beyond the physical, beyond the third dimension. But it is for the human self to make these choices, to surrender to the higher self, to divine will. Divine will, of course, comes from the will of God, from Source itself, and is received by the higher self, the divine will of the higher self, also being the will of Source. Feel how you are becoming one with the divine through your choice. To the ego self, it feels such a sacrifice. But as you move away from the ego self, entering more deeply into the divine self, it is so expansive. And as you leave behind the human intellect, so you gain more access to the higher mind. There is truly a transformation taking place within you. And the more time you spend in your I Am presence, in peace and stillness, the more you facilitate this process of transformation taking place within. There is no need to feel that you must release, you must change, you must do this or that. There is no pressure at all, no need to do anything, simply to be and allow this golden transformation to simply take place for you, within you. And it is in the still place within that the opportunity exists to allow. You feel so much more peaceful. And you begin to experience joy and bliss coming into you through this surrender to the divine. Let us spend a few moments together now, experiencing this higher frequency of reality. We rise together in frequency through our circle. And we feel within how drawn we are to the higher realms. The distrust of the ego mind falls away, for within we know truth. You know yourselves to be a being of light, of higher consciousness, simply inhabiting a third-dimensional vessel. And the light expands exponentially. Simply breathe. Much light is entering through your third eye, down through your crown. A connection is taking place with your heart center, your high heart, your third eye, and your crown. Be at peace. Be within. And let go the control of the ego mind. Simply be present within your body, grounded into the earth, and allow all to proceed in divine timing.